All right, sitting down with Adam Breneman, which really you're doing everything. Next up with Adam, college football analyst, broadcaster, and then with all your brands that you're doing, man. I'm losing track of everything you're doing in the betting space, the interviews, but appreciate you taking the time and appreciate you making the putts. By the way, first of the day, 3 for 3. And you were honestly, you acted so confident after the fact that you were.
I was a little shaky going up to the first one, though. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, you're like, I got to get my practice swings in.
I'll say this: if anyone who's golfed with me, I'm golfing tomorrow in the front office sports event. My putting won't look like that on actual grass, so I'm glad I got it in right here.
We got you right, and you're a lefty like me. I'm a lefty. Yep. I'm curious on a personal note, the transition from sport to the media world.
Yeah,
and obviously for you, you're going to have opportunities. I know you had a lot of obstacles to get to where you were, and then you had to make a choice. I played baseball professionally for 8 years, got up to AAA, and then I just got into media recently. What was that transition like for you? Because it's all you've done, but I mean, hell, you've hit the ground running and haven't looked back.
Yeah, I mean, the transition for me came honestly, man. I spent 2 years coaching after I played at Arizona State. Shit hit the fan at Arizona State. We all got fired. I was with Herm Edwards and Antonio Pierce at ASU, and at that point, I had to make a decision. What do I want to do? Do I want to try to keep coaching? Do I want to try to go to the NFL from a coaching standpoint? Do I want to go work in business? Like, you got a lot of options. And for me, it was the same time. I'll never forget when Pat McAfee announced his FanDuel deal.
Yeah.
It was like Pat McAfee signs a $150 million deal with FanDuel. And I remember seeing that, and it was right when TikTok was starting to take off, where everyone was making content.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not saying I can be Pat McAfee, but I was like, there's a career to be built here with social media. And I felt like in football specifically, and sure, it seemed what you probably feel in baseball.
Yeah.
Like when I started, I'm 29 now, I was 26 then. I'm 26 years old. I've been a 5-star recruit. I was an All-American in 2 different schools. I was a Division I coach. I have all these unique experiences in football that I can talk about the game at a high level and attract an audience that's younger and more, that kind of TikTok audience, the Instagram, the YouTube, that young audience that maybe guys like Kirk Herbstreit aren't hitting. Can I be Gen Z's college football guy? And that's what I went all in to do. And it's been a 3-year sprint, as you mentioned, but it's gone really well.
Well, yeah, Pat really changed the game for so many reasons. When I got started to work on my skills, but also that model works. And not saying, I mean, Pat's 101 and some of the crazy shit he does over there. That's him being him, but it reminded you that if you can find what you're doing, you can have a niche in this space. And for you, though, you kick the doors down with college football.
Yeah.
And then now you're in the whole betting space on top of it. Yeah. You're sitting down with all the premier college coaches. And, you were a pretty damn good football player. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you took your name out of the draft? Is it towards the end? Was that? I remember that because I think Zach and I were talking about this right before, and we're looking at it. And I remember even seeing your name, and all of a sudden you made the choice. Yeah. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So it was less of a choice and more like a reality I had in life. Yeah. I mean, after my 2 years at UMass, I was at the combine, I was at the Senior Bowl, I was getting ready to go to the NFL, but I had a really bad left knee.
Yeah.
And my knee injury that I had all through college that kind of plagued me throughout my career, same injury that Greg Oden had in the NBA. You remember Greg Oden? He never played in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Same exact injury. Basically, I have a degenerative issue in my left knee. Still bothers me today. And, going up to the draft, I had flown around and seen a bunch of different doctors and Dr. Andrews in Florida trying to figure out how to prolong my career. And we came to the realization about 2 months before the draft that, there's no path forward, that no one in the NFL is going to draft me because of how bad my knee is. I can't play, so I needed another surgery, and there was no path forward to play in the NFL. So at 22, I guess I retired from football, and it was tough. But, I mean, listen, life's not about the cards you're dealt. It's how you play the hand, and I was dealt a shitty deck of cards, but I feel like I played it pretty well from there and have just tried to turn any negative into a positive through hard work and determination.
Yeah, you really have, no doubt about it. And obviously got a big connection, I know, to Penn State initially.
Yeah.
Maybe throughout all of this, and I always love the stories. It doesn't have to be Penn State. It can be anywhere of your journey of it. I had Adam Rank and I were just talking about some minor league stories and the do's and don'ts and what happens when you go through slumps.
Yeah.
You have moments that stuck out in your college career, good, bad, ugly, or just memories that maybe aren't highlighted, but to you, you're like, man, that was a memory I won't forget.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
And it could just be a thing, even hanging with the boys off the field.
Yeah.
You know, we have all the bus trips that are.
Yeah.
We don't censor things on this show too often, but
yeah,
we got some things.
Censor
There's a couple
trips?
of things I have to censor on some of the bus trips.
I mean, I would say some of my favorite memories in college football, I'll think about Penn State, was, being a freshman at Penn State and how, all the there was always like pranks that the seniors would play on the freshmen when you would be there. So for me, it was all the seniors after one practice picking me up, putting me on their shoulders, and dumping me in the cold tub with all my gear on, and like probably a little bit of hazing there, but like holding you in the, but it's all fun and games, because then we would give it right back to the seniors, and then we would do, we had like the skit nights where the freshmen would make fun of all the seniors and the coaches. Those were always the best, where you get the freshmen all together. We had to put on a skit and make fun of all the seniors, so we give it right back to them. But those are the kind of things in the locker room, man, that you don't get when you stop playing.
Yeah.
And that, honestly, you never get it. But one of the reasons I enjoy broadcasting is like that's the closest you get to the feeling of playing a game. When your heart rate's high and you're about to go on live TV and the game's about to start, it feels like you're about to play. But man, there's so many that just being with the boys in the locker room, all the kind of busting each other's balls and having fun and making fun of each other. Like it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, we had Brian Billick on, the old Ravens Super Bowl
legend.
winning coach. And Billick, though, he's like, yeah, we're talking about how things could be back in the day. It's like, no water break here, no hydration. He goes, that's kind of a problem
no
now.
doubt.
Or some other thing.
That's how you get fired.
But also, he had some sentiments that worked to rally the troops still, the F the Titans thing that's around there. He said sentiment loud and clear, but he said it's those things behind the scenes that people don't talk about. And it's those memories that build the team up and build up things. I got to ask, okay, what's on the horizon next for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest kind of project I'm working on, or a deal I've done, is my podcast, just partnered with Front Office Sports, which has been really cool. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, that's such a great young sports company of FOS and the way they're building it. And when that opportunity came about, it was too good to pass up. I feel like, and I've also tried for myself. You mentioned the football piece and kind of how I've gotten into different worlds. I've really trying to also build out, and that I'm not just a football guy, but really can be a sports business guy. And everything in sports is really sports business when you think about it. It all comes down to money and deals. So that deal's been great for me, and just going to keep, amplifying the podcast, better guests, better production, more resources. And it's been really good. We have an interview dropping tonight with Kenny Dillingham, who's the head coach of Arizona State, just won the, College Football Coach of the Year award. Yeah. So it's going to be good. It's a great company, and really excited to keep grinding. We're traveling around to do it. I mean, it's a grind now. The podcast grind.
I know, but I'm even fresher into this, so I'm going to have to pick your brain. I don't even know how the hell you do it all the time. And I've seen the videos of, hey, you're hopping on the plane, doing the interview, then you're hopping right back on. The day in the life. We're just brand new into it, but I got to feel like you got to have, I know you don't, but it feels like you got 2 or 3 stunt doubles for you to go because you're traveling around.
I'll say there's only one of me, but we do have an awesome team. I mean, Noah, who's right over here, who with me on this trip and is with me everywhere I go, and manages kind of, I don't even know what his title is, but he basically runs everything that I do. Yeah, like my day-to-day, the social media, the team, and by this point, one thing I'll say that I did early on is like, I didn't make any money doing this for a little bit because I was investing in the team. I mean, right off the gate, I hired people. And now it's grown where it's a real business. But, in the beginning, I hired a videographer, hired an editor, hired Noah. Like, we have all these people who are making the content go out, where while I'm here at Radio Row, we're probably posting like 5 videos with me talking about the Super Bowl. Even filming the operation from filming here on this interview. You'll probably see this up on social media of us talking, tomorrow, and how fast it'll happen. So the operation behind the scenes has been something I've invested in. And listen, it's not cheap. Like, it's definitely, sometimes you think, okay, if I didn't pay those guys, I'd have a lot more, but it's worth it because it everything I've done and all the different successes, all the different deals, all comes back to the content. Everyone always says to me, I love your TikToks, I love your videos, I love your podcasts. So it makes it all worth it, because none of these other opportunities would have came if it wasn't for the content.
It's building up the production. That's what we're trying to do. Again, I feel like we're like a year or 2 right behind. We're getting right to it, because this is,
I see it.
It's a small group that we have, but we're looking to move forward. And the other part of it is you want to create a product that people love, and then the audience and the community that you develop. We're big on community. Hence, with you adding now $30 to the pot, because you just wanted to show off and make things great. But it's stuff like that. The community and the quality make all of it.
Yeah.
And last thing, and this is a random thing, but I might as well bring it back because all of our followers want to know this. And it's going to come out of left field.
Oh boy.
But you're at a ballpark.
I'm nervous here.
No, it's not that bad. But I got a confession a little bit on my take. But you had a stadium ballpark. You had a hot dog. You've had a hot dog at some point, right? What's going on in your dog, condiment wise?
Just ketchup.
Just ketchup?
That's it. Nothing else on it. No onions, no relish, no mustard.
No condiment, though. I go no condiment.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's wrong with that?
You don't put ketchup or mustard or anything on it?
Nothing. Corey, we had.
Yeah. That's how I know he's a psycho.
Okay.
He's got something off up there.
No, we're not going to tell. We don't have to tell the other part right now.
Oh, what is it?
So, again, I had an eating problem when I was a kid, Adam. So no judgment here. But my mom.
Well, now I can't make fun of you for it, no matter what you say.
No, you can. But my mom, I had a problem with the skin of a hot dog. So my mom would
cut it up.
My mom would cut off the skin of the hot dog when I was a kid. I want to emphasize kid.
Yeah.
Kid.
Well, you don't do that anymore, though, right?
Not anymore. No, the whole thing.
I thought you were going to say you still got the skin off. He's in the ballpark cutting his hot dog in slices, little piece, so he can chew it well.
And my thing is, plain dog. If you like a hot dog, why need to put condiments on it, right?
Yeah.
Just if you truly
it doesn't taste that good without I feel like what makes it good is the ketchup, mustard, all that stuff.
Okay, and the last thing, do you like crab cakes?
Love them.
Okay, crab cakes in football.
Yeah.
That's what Maryland does.
Yeah.
You come to Maryland, we'll get you some crab cakes. You got to come see some O's games or Ravens games, too. I know you're a college guy, but come on down.
I was just down there to interview Mike Loxley, Maryland head coach.
Yeah, just saw Mike.
He's here somewhere.
Yeah, he's here somewhere.
So, had a good conversation
all right,
with him.
We got to get you back in Baltimore for some of the games. So, Adam, appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.